Yo, yes sir. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Prophet. Sound like money. You already know. I'm back with my first tutorial right now. So I'm gonna give you guys the sauce on my mixing, my mastering chain, how I mix down stuff, how I get my levels right, how I just get my shit sounding right, get it knocking right. Sounds good on fucking iPhone speakers, monitors, studio monitors. Get your shit ready for post it on YouTube, post it on BeatStars, for if you're gonna go in the studio with an artist, make sure your shit sounds right. So let's get it without any further ado. If y'all enjoy this content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that, thumbs up, share with your friends. Let me know, cause I mean, if y'all like this, then this will be the first of many, man. I know a lot, and I feel like I'm pretty good at explaining what I do and my reasoning behind everything. So if you guys like it, like I said, blow this shit up, and you know what I'm saying? I'll keep pumping them out for you. So, with all that being said, here we go. Let's get into it. So I just cooked this beat up real quick. Just a little loop, a little, fucking 33. Just so you guys can hear what it sounds like before, and then we'll get into it. So yeah, there you go. You guys get the idea. So first things first, take you through my mastering chain. I load this up before I load up any VSTs, before I load up any instruments. This is the first thing I do when I open up a fucking project. I come here, I have my chain already saved in here, so I'll show you guys how to do that. So once you have it all set up, you just hit save mixer track state as, name it whatever you want, save it, and it'll come here, and then all you have to do is click that, and it comes up. So I'll walk you guys through what I got here, my reasoning behind each plugin that I put. So first off, we got a parametric EQ, just basic on the preset 20K to 18K cut. This just cuts out any muddy frequencies, any frequencies that you can't really hear these frequencies, but they still take up space in the overall data and overall sound of the project. So that just helps to get that sound nice and clean and crisp. That's all that is. Next, we got a multi-band compressor. I'll let you guys take this. You guys can put these settings exactly how I have them and save it, and you just have to do it once, and after that it's good. This just helps glue all the instruments together and make it sound more cohesive, make it sound like one piece of music instead of a bunch of random pieces kind of all fitted together, if that makes sense. If not, you'll hear it when you turn it on and off. You'll hear the difference. Last but not least, just a soft clipper. There's the threshold, there's the post at 80, threshold at negative 6.8. This you can kind of tweak with it and see how you want it. This just gets it, pushes the sound a little bit more and make it knock a little bit harder. So that's first things first. This alone will make your shit knock. It'll take your shit from sounding basic to bumping already for sure. So after that, after I have the master chain set up, then first thing I do is I go to my main melody. I'll solo it. For my levels on my main melody, I like to keep it around negative 12 dB at the highest point. So I just drop it until, and again, none of these levels that I'm telling you are exact. This is just how I like it. The good thing about music is there's no right or wrong. So what I like, you might want it a little bit higher, you might want it a little bit lower. Go ahead, this is just giving you a basic guideline. So I bring it down till, the loudest is hitting at about 12. That's it for that, and then I'll hit it with a nice little EQ just to take out some of the lows. Give it room for the bass to breathe through there. Cut it. Whenever you're EQing, you want to do it a little bit too much and then cut it back just a tad bit because you don't want it to be too obvious. You just want it to get the job done. I think that's good about right there. I'm not going to worry about cutting any of the highs. And again, you could go through each of these bands and raise and lower individual frequencies that you feel like you want to, but I never take my mixing that in depth, really, to be honest, unless the sound really needs it. So after that, next I like to focus on the bass. I got my 808. For every 808 and every kick, I always go to this. This is the stereo separation knob. You turn it to the left, it's separated, widens the sound, turn it to the right, pushes it in mono. So I always push my 808s and my kicks in mono, and then I'll just level it down. And I like my 808 hitting at the highest point at about -3. So I'll drop it down a little bit more. Let's see, a little bit more. Again, like I said earlier, you might want your shit hitting more. Feel free to knock it up more, doesn't matter. That's just about where I like it. That sounds about right. And then again, I always take the EQ here, same preset. I just like this 2018 cut because it's nice and easy. And then I always cut my 808 from 25 to 30 hertz because that helps to take some of the mud out and just make it knock a little bit better, knock it a little bit cleaner. So I think that's good at 25. I like that. And you see when you do that, it raises the thing. So I gotta lower it again a little bit, bring it back down to like 70. Yeah, that's about right. There we go. And then depending on how I want it to sound, I'll go and add a wave shaper or a distort. But for this one, I don't really want it to be that sound, so that's fine. Next I go onto the kick. Again, push it all to mono. Hit it with the EQ. Again, my mixing and leveling is very basic, bro. I don't take it too in depth because you don't really need to. You just need to get it sounding good enough so the label, so the artist can listen to it and be like, yeah, I like that. And then when the time comes, you send the sins off to the label. They'll get it professionally mixed and mastered. You don't have to worry about all that too much. So that's all I do for there. The EQ, next thing I add is a clipper on the kick. And all I do is simply hit the threshold up. And that gets it knocking right. Let me go into where the kick is. There we go. And I always have my kick hitting at 0. Listen to it together. It's knocking, it's punching through the 808, but it's not overpowering. I like that. And then next I'll move on to the clap. I like my clap hitting a little bit lower than the 808, about like in between 6 and 3. This one I'm going to raise it up a little bit. It's a little bit too soft. That's about perfect right there. And I barely ever EQ my drums because you don't need to. If you're using high quality kits, most of the time they're already EQ'd, they're already clean enough. You don't need to go crazy with the EQing. So yeah, kick, 808, main melody, claps going nice. Then next I'll move on to the hi-hat. Again, just getting the levels right, nothing too crazy. I don't really need to EQ this. I like my hi-hat hitting about the same as the melody, a little bit lower. So the melody is about -12. This will be anywhere from 15 to 12. A little bit higher, doesn't matter. Alright, that sounds good. Next I'll use my secondary, either secondary snare or rim, like this. I have my rim hitting at about -15. That's a nice balance. Go a little bit lower. Again, I'm not going to EQ any of my instruments any of my drums because they're already high quality enough. Fine. Same thing with secondary snare, accent snares. I'll drop that a little bit lower. 75 at about 18, maybe a little bit higher. And then I want to go here to the panning, and I like panning my individual snares. I think I'll pan this one 15 to the right, this one 15 to the left. It's not a huge difference, but in the grand scheme of things, it helps just a little bit easier for things to be heard. Then next I'll move on to open hats, if there is any, which yes, I do have some in here. Let's see, where are they? Yep, there they are. Just drop those down a little bit below the hi-hat. A little bit below the hi-hat, about 75. There we go. Sounds pretty good to me. Triangle, same thing. No higher than 15, really. And again, I'll pan this at 25 over here, and I'm actually going to pan the open hat as well. It's another thing that helps give your track space. You pan individual instruments to the left and the right. It helps it sound less cluttered, gives it more dynamic range. So you see, that's easy. That took me, like 5 minutes, just getting the levels right. I don't need to go crazy with EQing or anything, because if you're using high quality samples already, they're pretty much always all EQ'd already. Last but not least, we'll move on to the secondary melody. And then just, this is really up to you. Just hear how it sounds, make it fit nice with the melody. You might want to mute this again so you can hear them together. This I'm going to EQ just to take a little bit of the lows out. And hear it again. Drop it a little bit lower. That sounds good. Now let's hear it all together. Actually, I can just do that faster. There we go. That's it. Now it's knocking right. Kick is hitting hard. 808's hitting hard. Everything is nice and spaced out. Levels are right. Sounds pretty good to me. That's really all there is, man. You don't need to make it too complicated. Just get it sounding right. Get it sounding good enough so you can play it. You can go in the studio, play it for artists, and not have your shit all coming red, you know, fucking peaking everywhere. As long as your shit's not peaking, you got a little bit of headroom for the artist to go on. That's all you really need. See this? Could drop everything a little bit lower. That's kind of a little bit higher than I usually like it. I usually like to keep it around -3, but that's really fine. It's not a big deal. It's really the 808 doing that. I drop this down a little bit lower. So now I'll show you some effects that I have to add. I love chorus. Chorus is a great way to add character to your sound. Nothing too crazy. And bro, I'm a preset guy. I find a preset I like, and I'll tweak it here and there, but that's really it. Now let me know if you guys want a more in-depth tutorial on, you know, I can go through chorus, I can go through reverb, I can go through phasers, I can go through EQ and compression, all that stuff more in depth. But for this video, I'm really just giving a basic overview of like my workflow and how I get my levels and everything sounding right. So that's really it. The main part is honestly this master chain. This master chain, if you take nothing else from this video, pause all these, take these down, save this master chain. Like I said, you just come here, double click that, go to file, save mixer track state as. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Bear with me, my slow ass fucking MacBook, bro. It's time for an upgrade. So yeah, there you go. It's already in mixer presets. Save it as whatever you want. Save it. I already have mine saved. There you go. And once again, double click here, file, and there it is. That's all you need. So like I said, I appreciate you guys tapping in. Like, comment, subscribe. Blow this up. Let me know if you guys want more of these in the future, and you know, I'll deliver. So peace out.